Looks like we're live. Hi, everyone. I said a couple days ago that we would do a video discussing some psychic development and the gifts and things like that. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about how the YouTube Live works. The way this works is when you comment, it flashes briefly up on my screen. Now, I know on playback, y'all don't see that. So if you see me pause for a minute, it's because I've missed someone's comment. So we just kind of roll with things as we go. And we are shooting live. And if you are missing this, I will also post this on the playlist under live videos. So before we get started into the gifts and psychic development, things like that, there's something I want to say about the videos. First of all, thank you guys. I mean, your support over here has been tremendous to me. It's been really good. Here's Heather. Hi, Heather. And there's Nikki. It's been really good. It keeps me going with these videos. But I want you to know they are just generalizations. They are a look at, for example, Aries. It's just a brief look at Aries in the moment of time of the week to come. And if it resonates with you, that is wonderful. Um, I've gotten some messages about some people are charging for the general videos, and I can't. I could say this. I'm not going to charge you for a general video. I'm so confused. I hope we are ready things so we can write. Hi there. It's back to the general videos. I'm not going to charge you for general videos because I'm not going to pay for general videos because, like I said, it's just a measurement in time. My daughter has just come in, and so yeah, so no fears there. Won't be charging for anything like that. So Nikki, I know you have some questions for me, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to get started tonight with the gifts and what the gifts are. And you know, guys, I thought, because I actually teach a class on psychic development, and I really thought I was going to pull my notes out from all this and do this and this and this. None of that happened. None of it. I've been busy. Huh? You really came in at 6 o'clock. None of that happened, so we're just going to do this on the fly and by what we've got going for the rest of the month. I understand that. And it's the other thing I try to do on my readings. I try to base the price on readings on what I would pay. So, Terrence would love to talk to you. Visit my website and line something up. That would be great. Okay, so on to the gifts. What you got? You've got your clairvoyant, um, mediums. You have the intuitives. We have empaths. Those are some of them that we want to touch base on. And I know a lot of you are struggling with the developmental side of things, so I want to touch base on that as well. Um, First of all, if you're seeking a reading, you want to know what you're looking for in a reading, and so you'll know what kind of gift that you're looking for. Okay, so let's start with a psychic or clairvoyant, and that's what I am. I am a clairvoyant. These are what we call clear seeing. We see the visions, we hear the voices. That's how it plays out for us. Intuition. I think everyone has a little bit of intuition. It's all under whether you can trust it. And yeah, astrology. That's a good point too. Astrology is confusing. I'm gonna touch base on that too. Um, you're hearing from your higher self and not your ego. Okay, Nikki, hold on. We'll get to that. Ask me that again because I will forget. Your intuition is your gut feeling, okay? And your gut feeling is, it's something that you either trust or you don't. And so that's what an intuitive is. That's what you're going to get with an intuitive reading. Of course, you have tarot card readers. I'm fluid with the tarot. I don't use them on readings unless you ask. It does an empath. An empath is someone that can walk into a place and pick up on people's emotions. They can tap in kind of that spiritually of what they're going through and what they're feeling at that point in time. And this is Roxy. Roxy has just jumped up here to join us. Say hello, Roxy. Oh, she don't want to be on camera. So a lot of different gifts, and of course, a medium is someone that connect to the other side. I do that as well. And what you probably don't know, not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics. So, now, as far as developing these gifts and things of that nature, Nikki hit me with that question again that you just asked me. It was something about trusting it. And astrology is set apart in its own separate world. I'm not really an astrologist. I'm big into the zodiac signs and big into the moon phases, but I don't read astrology like your birth charts, the time and date that you were born, and things like that. So that's another reading in itself. So what did you ask me, Nick? To understand you are unconditional love. Exactly. I agree with that, Christina. How do you know you're hearing from your higher self? That's a great question. Okay, that's talking about your intuition and trusting what gifts you have and not your ego. Okay, first of all, don't think about it. Okay, roll with it. If it comes to you, you roll with that. The love and the light. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've got to trust what you're being shown. You've got to be trust. Sometimes it's not a vision. Sometimes it's just something you know, and that's your intuitive side. Nikki, the best I can tell you is just don't guess it. Okay? If someone asks you a question, give them that yes or no. Give them the answer. Don't think about just let it come from within. Okay? Now, a lot of you, I know this is easier said than done, and it's practice made perfect. It's learning to trust yourself, and it's the fear of being wrong. It's the fear of telling someone something wrong. Let me tell you right now, my longest standing clients of probably 15 years or better are because I told them something they did not want to hear. Okay, I'm very honest in what I see. I'm very honest in what comes to me. And let's just give you an example. Let's say my daughter come to me and asked me if her and her husband were going to stay together, and I said no. Well, obviously that was not the answer she wanted to hear, but when things fall apart, she comes back to me. You do. You need to get out of your own way. You need to get out of your own head. And you need to be right spiritually. Does that make sense? Now, I didn't get on here to preach to you, but I did throw spirituality out there because, guys, what you're working with is a gift, and what you're working with is spirit. Okay? And you've got to be right spiritually. Now, that is also easier said than done. And I'm not talking about going to church every Sunday. I mean, you can go to church every Sunday and still not be a Christian. Oh, yeah. Heather, people do sometimes get mad when they're, when you're right, but it doesn't serve me a purpose to tell you to sugarcoat something, and you're not going to come back to me. So, yeah, I can be a little blunt and I can be a little direct, but I always try to answer why it's not going to happen the way you want it to. Is it coming in your head? You need to trust yourself. Yes, Christina, you do. Speak the truth. Speak what you're being shown. Speak what your gut is telling you to speak. Don't get hung up on this. Am I right or wrong? That comes in time. Right now is tapping into your own self. And like I said, get right with yourself spiritually. When I said that's easier said than done, like I said, you don't have to go to church every Sunday to be spiritual. Okay? Or to be whatever your beliefs are. It's something you practice, it's something you connect with. And I have a cousin, Richard. We were just talking about this the other day, that how you grow up and they tell you all the time to pray, to pray, to pray, to pray, and no one ever told us how to pray. Okay? And there is a right way and there's a wrong way. So if you need guidance there, just shoot me an email. I'll absolutely discuss that with you. Now, let me share a little bit about me and how things happened for me. I spent a great deal struggling with this. It didn't seem like a gift. It was more like a curse to me, okay? Because what was going on with me, it made me feel a little crazy. And if you spoke to somebody about it, they confirmed that you were nothing but crazy. So I'm really, really glad that I come up in an era where we just didn't put people on antidepressants and things like that. But I was suppressing it a lot. And because of that, I had migraines. And I'm not talking just migraines. I'm talking in the ER migraines. And then I would say early 20s, I started to embrace it a little bit more. And then we had an experience. I did have that whole near-death experience. I volunteered to go in for a surgery and wound up in a cardiac arrest over the anesthesia. Whole light at the end of the tunnel, saw the other side. That put a new perspective on things for me. And it, I'm thick-headed as anyone else. It took a long, long time for me to just sit back and embrace what was happening and to let things come. Same with my mother. My mother could not get on board with a lot of this. And when she started working with things, she did have that whole clairvoyant experience. And it was, she saw something for herself and she called me into a panic. And I am thrilled for her, and she wants it to stop. She just absolutely wants to shut it off. And I want to talk about that too, about how to cut it on and cut it off. Because it scared her. It absolutely scared her. Now, I was thrilled because if you knew my mother, she was very high strung. And to get her in any type of relaxed state was virtually impossible. So the fact that she had an actual clairvoyant vision and what she saw wasn't anything bad and it did come to pass, I thought was just a huge breakthrough. So, yeah, there is the thing of being at peace with yourself. And like I said, that goes back to your spirituality, of being in peace with yourself, embracing. Does it sound like the same? Well, I can tell you this, Heather. She was a high-strung Gemini, out of control most of the time. High-strung was putting it as an understatement. But yeah. So it was. You've got to be right spiritually, and you've got to be at peace to allow things to happen. Okay? Now, for some of you, it's going to be meditation. I'm not going to preach about meditation because when I try to meditate, I go to sleep. Point blank and simple. The meditation doesn't work for me. It could be anything that relaxes you. Scented candles, incense, anything, a peaceful room, anything. Hi, Richard. Anything that puts you in that relaxed state to let things happen. And on the spiritual side, you have to let them know you're ready. Okay? Or that you're going to give it a try. And just let things come to you. Now, sometimes I get a lot from my clients that will tell me, no, Jackie, you don't understand. I meditate, I do all of this, and it still doesn't come to me. Okay? You're not ready, or believe it or not, your subconscious is blocking it. Christina, you love meditation. Do you meditate with music? I want to ask you about that. And the reason I bring up the music part, I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but YouTube has got some awesome, awesome channels out there for meditation music. And if you haven't checked it out, look into it, because just some really great lay down, be at peace with yourself type of music. You will love it. Reiki, I had heard about Reiki for many years from many different psychics, and I never tried it. And it was something I was always also kind of skeptical on. Love the YouTube meditation music is the bomb. There, I've got some favorites out there. Really, really good stuff. Bashara Sharp. We'll look into it. And it's just Reiki for me is a way to ground myself and really to let go, because you got to remember, I do this all day long, so that's a lot of energy I'm working with, and I have to have a way to let that go at the end of the day. Okay, Nikki, what is working well for you with meditation? What works well for you? And like it's anything C sharp. Is this meditation music we're talking about? Y'all guys check it out, because I'm telling you, YouTube has got the best to offer when it comes to meditation music. But yeah, it's what works for me may not work for you, and what works for Nikki may not work for you. It's trial and error. Era. It's C sharp. All right, we will check that out. Couldn't find any. You couldn't find any meditation music? All right. She gave the name of C, the letter C, sharp. Check that out. YouTube is my guide right now. Guys, I used YouTube yesterday in hooking up a pool pump. YouTube has got the answer for everything. It really does. Yeah. So, but different gifts, different readings, different things. And it's to hone in onto what you're good at, you know? Tarot, okay? I do offer tarot card workshops. And let me tell you something. I love the tarot. I'm fluent with the tarot. The best thing, the best advice I can give anyone out there that wants to learn the tarot, throw away every damn book you have. Bottom line. And I say this because you can buy 10 books and look up the magician and interpret 10 different meanings from that one card. Throw the books away. Look at the card and tell me what you see in it. Now, the workshops, I can give you little tips and tricks and things like that, or, the colors are significant, your numbers are significant, the action in the card is significant. These are the things that you want to look at. Don't look at the book. Don't go by the book of, well, the book says this. It's all into what you see in those tarot cards. And I think that they're just kind of like an oracle, there is a way to work the spreads to where they play out. And if y'all watch my videos, I give you a certain amount of cards for the week. And for those of you, I was speaking with Patty last night, a friend of mine, who's also a Sagittarius like me. And she was talking about, I think it was either this week or this month's video, that I had pulled so many major arcanas, and that's significant. That's why I kept pulling. I really thought I was going to go through half the deck on that video. So yeah, it all ties in together, and the little tips and tricks I can actually show you how to read some time frames, because one of the biggest things you always want to know, I don't care if it's a psychic reading or whatever, you always want to know when. So yeah, you can actually get some time frames off the tarot. Nikki, you had a couple other questions you asked me the other night. Do you remember what they were? But like I said, when you feel like you're stuck and you feel like it's just not coming to you, there is a reason for that, okay? And whether you're experiencing something of a spiritual blockage is possible, most of the time I find it's your subconscious that's blocking you. Everything is now correct. You are correct. It just, you've got to roll with it. I'm told my fear is bigger than my intuition. Oh, I could not put that in better terms. I cannot put that in better terms. And when I say practice makes perfect, y'all hear thunder, and we're having a storm right now. Hi, Queen of Wands is here. So just, tap into it. Let it go. Your fear. You've got to let those fears go. Something, I pull out tarot cards to know when, but don't get the answer. Okay, who is that? Why? Why, I can tell you this. Hi, City Cat. If you want to know why or whatever, I can give y'all some tips. Like I said, in the tarot, we'll do another video on that. It's all in the spread of how I've got my own spread that will let you read your timeline. And timelines, you're not going to nail them, but it can get you in the right ballpark. Now, if you're clairvoyant and working on your psychic abilities, the best thing I can tell you, look for the calendar. If I got anybody out there that can see the calendar, if you look for the calendar, it'll show you on the calendar when something's going to occur. Trust more herself. She does need to trust herself, Christina. You just, and like I said, you don't guess it. You just roll with it. And guys, like I said, practice makes perfect. You don't have to have clients. You can read for friends. You can read for family. It can be different things. For me, as a teenager, it was being upstairs waiting to be called down to dinner and knowing what the dinner conversation was going to be. Knowing who was going to say what. Knowing who's going to bring up something. Things like that, It's just, it's just stuff that goes off. And the other thing of it is, when things happen, don't fear it, let it happen. My daughter struggles. She is a very strong medium. So she struggles with, that whole I see dead people type thing. So, and sometimes the psychic, we're shown stuff that we never asked to see. It happens more often than not. Everything what you feel is real. I've been blocking my power for years and I'm going through releasing it. Yes, you have to release it. And you just, like I said, you've got to trust it. You've got to be right spiritually. You've got to be in the right frame of mind. And when it happens, don't let it scare you. Okay? And it may the first time. The first time it happens, it may actually scare you. Um, but don't let the fear block off something. And I think that's what happens. And you'll find it in children. Children are just very open about what they see and they feel because they haven't been told in life is wrong. Okay? So they're very open to it. The same way with your pets or your animals that will sense and pick up things around you and around them. No one has told them it's not wrong, that it's wrong to see or feel or know things like that. So they're very open and receptive. Children and animals are just on point, on point. And a lot of this comes with, like I said, it's your fear and your subconscious. And a lot of you, if you're like me, it was the way you were raised where you're just told it's wrong. It's plain out wrong. It's not having to do with spirit, it's just wrong. Um, so there's a lot of things that can be overcome, but I have seen people have breakthroughs on this. So, just you've got to trust in it and establish what's right for you. Um, any other problems y'all have occurred with that? Like I said, I'm not gonna lie, my problem is the meditation. I try to meditate and I fall asleep. Reiki I use for grounding and centering just to clear the energy. Um, I do work late at nights, and somehow or another that has created some insomnia in me over the years. And I don't want to go to bed. You go to bed and you think about all life's problems, but I don't want to think about all your problems too. And listening to all these chakra balance videos, I hear voices and a lot of the weird things happening. Queen of Wands, that is correct. That's what my spiritual path is. It's really causing issues. Stacy, that might be something you want to email me on that and see if I can help you out there with that. Um, no charge, of course. Just remind me you're Stacy from YouTube Live. And we do get stuck. We get stuck because it can be overwhelming. And the same that when it happens, it can be very overwhelming because it can all come in at one time. Heather, same for you. Same for you. And it's just it's a trust, and it's a trust in yourself, but it's also a little overwhelming because you don't know dreams. I often have dreams of future events that come true. City Cat, I love dreams. Matter of fact, dream interpretation is one of my favorite things. I've had clients ask me to put up separate readings for them, and that is something I'm going to look at doing. Love dream interpretation. If you dream often and if you are developing, guys, listen up. Get your dream book. Pick up a dollar notebook and a pad of paper, pen. Keep it beside your bed. And I say this, I'm one of those that can forget a dream the next morning. No, I had a good dream. No, I had a bad dream, but don't remember all the dream. If you wake up from a dream, jot down some notes. Okay? Generally, they're trying to tell you something. When you're under developing your abilities, the dreams will come more often than not. I don't dream very often, so when I do dream, it's very significant. Unless I've taken like Benadryl or something, because that could just result in all sorts of nutty dreams. But yeah, so your dreams can be very significant, especially in the development stage. So be sure to write down key points of your dreams. Now, City Cat, you're telling me that you've dreamed that things and that they've actually come to pass. Um, that's a good design. That is a very strong sign to me that you have the ability to be clairvoyant, but you're not ready yet. So therefore, it's approaching you in your dreams, so it does not scare you. You're laughing about my Benadryl. No lie, I cannot make this up. The last time I had a dream when taking Benadryl, I dreamt I was a Hostess cupcake and someone knocked me into dishwater. It was awful. So I'm waiting for the comments to flash back up. I know there's a couple there. So me that your reading cards has a catch. You stay alone in terms of romantic relationships. What's your point of view? has a catch. Okay, I don't think reading cards has a catch. I think it's an oracle of some sorts, and it's how you interpret in those. Now, I'm missing a comment, something about money. Seeing lots about money. What does this mean? Well, it kind of can mean coming into money. It could also mean unexpected expenses coming up. So I'm catching your comments as they flash up here on the screen. But yeah, get you a dream book, guys. If y'all are working on this, a dream book is a must-have. Nikki, you got that? A dream book. Um, and like I said, they can mean various different things. Okay, I see 33 and 22 everywhere. 5 days in a row. I woke up at 3:33. Happenings for now. I'm not big into numerology, but that would be significant. Your 333s are a repeat of a cycle, where your 111s are new beginnings. Your dreams are nuts. I can see that because, like I said, when you're going through any kind of spiritual awakening or anything like that, it can cause some distracting dreams. Law of attraction is powerful. And sometimes, guys, I mean, it's so easy for me to sit here and tell you to trust where you're being led and to trust the path that you're on. And in reality, that's easier said than done. In the same way where I'm saying that your subconscious can affect you in so many ways that you don't even realize, that you can be blocking things out that you're not even really aware of. So it's really, really important that you're right on the spiritual side of things in order for things to happen. Well, that's awesome. Finding money is always a wonderful thing. It happens to me very seldom, but always happy times. I don't care if it's just a quarter. Finding money is huge. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about, cutting the psychic abilities on and cutting them off. There is no easy answer there. It has taken me years of working with this. For the most part, I can go into a restaurant or out with my friends and I'm not reading anyone. But for whatever reason, every now and then, I can be out with someone and something pops in or something comes through. Um, I don't generally say anything unless it comes to me as a warning for that person. So there's no real answer on how to turn things on and off. And believe me, guys, that's going to be your question to me when things start happening for you, is how to make it stop. And it will cause loss of sleep. It will cause a lot of frustration in that area because there's no real quick answer to tell you how to just turn the knob off for the evening. Okay? And yeah, Nikki, that's what you got to look forward to. Is once things start, it's getting them stop as a whole nother ball of wax. That's a different ball game altogether. I still see things today. Sometimes I have no idea why. Sometimes I think it's for a client, maybe one I've spoke to, or it's for an upcoming client. I see a lot all the time that I have absolutely no connection to me and my life at present. So always, just keep that in the back of my head to see if I run into someone that it may apply to or something that's going to apply to me. Next thing, I mean, outside of cards are okay, but learning to read for yourself is virtually impossible. Don't waste a lot of time on it, just to give you the heads up. I get bits and pieces for myself where, I'll give you an example. Charge of it. How can differentiate your inner voice from what you're telling? Okay, I missed part of that, so I'm waiting for that to come back up. Um, where was I at? Cutting things on and off. And I'm waiting for her last comment. I got the part where it said to differentiate from something to something, but I didn't see all of it. But yeah, cutting things off, a different scenario altogether. And mediumship, I'm going to tell you guys, if any of y'all working with that, that's a different world in itself. Okay? Differentiate your inner voice from what you want to be telling yourself or the voice you want to hear. Don't read for yourself where you left off. Okay, this is where I left off. All right, what you're asking me how to differentiate, don't read for yourself. I'm telling you. See my message post. I keep on rewriting. I keep on seeing hearts repeating the numbers. Sweetheart, you're going to have to look up numerology. I know your series of ones as new beginnings. Um, Not reading for yourself. Reading for yourself is hard, okay? For example, this week I have a client that lost her cat and she called me and I can take her out in her yard exactly where this cat is at. 2 hours later, I cannot find my car keys and I'm running late. It's the way it rolls. So, I mean, that's going to be frustrating enough in itself. But if you're practicing developing, I'm telling you, working on yourself is not the easy route to go. Work on your spouse, work on your best friend, work on your coworkers. That's going to be the easiest route to take for that. Because reading for yourself, it never goes well. To this day, I cannot get a full blown reading on me. I know enough to be dangerous. I know what's coming up. Um, I know if there's a train wreck ahead, things like that. I think this audio gift. Keep hearing the man talking right, and I told him because I get scared, and he did. Okay, Queen of Wands. That's significant when you hear a voice. Very significant. Listen to what they're telling you. Okay. If you got scared, it will stop, but it does not mean that it won't start back up. But hearing that voice is significant. Tell if it differs by inner voice and what you want to hear. Nikki. How do I describe this? You're going to work with it enough to know where your inner voice is and what your wants come in. And it's kind of hard to differentiate that. You've really got to work with trusting your intuition and trusting your inner voice because eventually you will see that there is a difference in that inner voice and your wants. Okay? And guys, if you're working on yourself, this is also bringing up a good point. If you're doing cards for yourself and you're wanting to read cards for yourself, your wants can influence that spread on your reading. So remember that. I want to hear someone call my name a lot. Hi, Pam. Yeah, listen to the voices. If you're hearing them, it is very significant. When I think about something, I get it from someone I know, sometimes through strange, simple things and thoughts. No, why that is not weird at all. It's actually pretty common. You'll probably pick up on it like if you're just something simple out grocery shopping or something, that you can pick up other people's thoughts and feelings and stuff. And that does happen, and it happens to me as well. And that's where I'm looking for that off button. I don't need to know about everybody's little detail in life. I'm asking in the dark. He said I need to ask in the light, but I don't know what he meant. I just bought candles. Okay, asking in the dark and asking in the light. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, I have a center to it. Do it. Okay, let's talk about this. The dark and the light. You're bringing up a good point on spirituality. Um, you have, just like everything good and bad, you have the dark side, you have the light side. Of course, the light side, you're going to be looking at God, you're going to be looking at Jesus, you're going to be looking at working at angels, and of course, the dark side is always there. And if it's telling you you're trying to see things through the dark side and it's preventing you, there's a reason that's being prevented, if that makes sense to you. So, there again, it's like I said, the biggest key I can tell you guys to let things happen and just roll with it is being right on the spiritual side of things. And that's what you're working with. You're working with spirit. And that it's not going to hand you anything that you can't deal with. Okay? But it's also not going to give you any gift or any acknowledgement in that form until you're ready. Does that make sense? Um, when I say when you're ready, okay? Um, a lot of psychics will tell you, and it's something I believe in as well. You guys ever have dreams about loved ones that have passed? People telling to me like meaning why they haven't. They start talking about what problems are happening to them or something. No, honey. Nothing is wrong with your aurora. Nothing. It just means that for whatever reason, those of us that are gifted, we seem to come out in a different light to people where people are kind of drawn to us. Um, Back to when you have dreams to loved ones that have passed, these are considered actual visits. Okay? And whether you're aware of this or not, those actual visits can occur at any time. You get them all the time. Okay. Um, what most don't understand, there is no time on that side. Okay. So if someone has passed and they've been gone for 2 years, and this is someone you really, really want to speak to, or someone that you really like to, connect with, and you still haven't had that dream, don't rule out that it's not going to happen. It just means that it hasn't, it's not, no, like I said, let me describe. There's no time on that side. So your 2 years can be their 2 minutes, if that makes sense. Past in a dream, and we're face to face talking, and I can't remember what we're talking about. That's okay. That's okay. Because you know what? And you just let her know that you didn't know what you talked about. And if you speak out loud, believe it or not, they can hear every word you say. And maybe she will revisit you again. You want to be on camera now? Oh, goodness. Say hello, Rox. This is my Roxy here. Spoilt rotten. Mama's sitting down, and here she is. Little Italy. Yep, there's Miss Janice. Say hi, Roxy. They're telling you hi. Hi, Bonnie. she is a mess. She lets me live with her, so she thinks. So, and surprisingly, I'm sure y'all have seen her make an appearance in more than one video. I hear astral projecting in my dreams. Okay, now that's all I caught of that, so I gotta wait for that comment to come back. Astral projection is something completely different. Do not try to do it. If it happens, it happens. Do not try to do it. And the reason I say this, okay, when you astral project, when you leave your body, when you have that outer body experience, let spirit do that for you. I know he's doing it. It just shows up and I tell him you're going to have, he is an indigo. All right, now let me tell you why I'm telling you about this astral projection. When you deliberately try to do this, and you can deliberately do this, you're leaving your body as an open vessel. You never want to do that unless spirit is taking yourself out of the body for a reason. It's happened to me more than once, and it's usually to show me something that I truly needed to know, or a warning, or to really answer a question that had been lingering with me for many, many years. So, but it's nothing you want to practice on doing yourself. And I know I got some other comments. Like I said, guys, just bear with me because they do pop up. So, in astrology, a different world altogether that I lived before. What's your thoughts on that, City Cat? Animal psychic. Okay, let's go with those first two. Are animal psychics in your oh, gosh, and I just missed it again. My thoughts on a past life. Okay, let me share with you this. One, I don't do anything on past life regression because I've never really put any time or energy into it. My thoughts are I have enough problems in this life, so I don't need problem to know what my problems were in the other life. Hi, Elizabeth. So yeah, I don't put a whole lot of energy into that. But do I believe in past life regression? I have to. I have to. And I tell you, it's something that occurred to me where I visited a state I had never been into in my life, confirmed it with my families. But when I got to one town, I knew I had been there before. I knew the prominent people of that town, all like that. Grandmother passed on a spectrum. She gave forecast balls of light, yellow, blue, green, and violet. Okay, those gifts of light are letting you know that you have a full life ahead. And she's giving you like the light in each area to let you know that. So, but yeah, that I do believe that there is something to past life regression. Some people would choose that they want to know what they were in a past life to know what to expect in this one. I'm one of those. I choose not to. Are animals psychic? I believe that animals are very much intuitive, more so than we are, because they can embrace it, because unlike the humans, they haven't been told it's wrong. So yes, intuitives, psychic, in animals and in children, I absolutely believe in. So, waiting for comments to come back up. I know this is aggravating. I wish there was a way to keep them on the screen. But no, I personally don't work with past life regressions. Okay, guys, are you still with me? I'm showing a poor connection on my end. Yes, okay. Happens all the time. I don't get anywhere. I just see my body in bed and my spirit gets out of my body. Queen of Wands, that does happen to some rather frequently. There is Miss Patty Cameron. I was just talking about you. Hi, Miss Patty. My 10 or old granddaughter talks to pass one, and she said, God said, tell you. And you know what, Pam? Listen to her. Because it's something to that, particularly coming from a child. The children don't have that restraint of knowing that people frown upon that. Size people and their angels within it. It means you're a good reader of character, and that's a strong quality to have around anyone. Anyone. And there is a difference in being able to walk into a room and read someone or judging them. So make sure you're actually reading that person and their energy versus judging them. No, you don't want to be judgmental. Have you ever been in a place and feel like you have been there before? Because it's happening to me all the time. Deja vu. Yeah, Bonnie, you brought up a good point. I've had that happen on numerous occasions. And I can almost, like, when you say been there and done that, I can see myself having the same conversation that I know I have already had. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, there is something to deja vu. I fully believe in that. And it's probably happened to all of us more than once. You go somewhere, you've been here, you've done this, or we're sitting here and we're talking about this, and you know you've so had this conversation before. It is crazy. And that's why I say I have to give some credit to some kind of past life connection there. And for me, like I said, it was an entirely different state that this happened in, one I had never been to. Can attract spirits. Okay, now this is a personal opinion. I personally do not believe that the tarot can attract spirits. Now, I can tell you that the tarot can um, be used in spell work and for black magic. And that might be where someone is telling you that it can attract spirits. But as far as an actual tarot deck, no, I do not believe that it attracts spirits. I do not believe the tarot deck is a form of divination. I find the tarot deck to be more like an oracle, no more different than using, y'all remember that magic 8 ball? Or am I just showing my age here? So, yeah, that's what I find the tarot ability. But as far as attracting spirits or anything like that, I no, I don't personally believe in that. Where is Jerry? I have not seen Jerry. I see my dad in a truck. Janice, um, what do you mean by that, hon? What does it mean when you see your dad in a truck? So, I mean, Nikki, that's just my personal opinion, you know? Like I said, I know that there are spells that can be used with the tarot. Your tarot don't do anything like that. Yeah, I just no, and like I said, I don't consider it divination. It's an oracle of some purpose or whatever. And where is Jerry now? Let me tell y'all about Jerry. First of all, is Famous Jay around? Do we have Famous Jay here? Yes, exactly. They're for guidance. Exactly. The spirit is coming from within you, the reader, the one that is intuitive, the one that has the psychic abilities. That's where spirit is. It's not in a deck of cards. Okay, so let me tell y'all about Jerry. As y'all know, a lot of you know, Elizabeth is in here, and she's local, and she's a friend of mine. She has this friend, Jerry. Jerry loves to crack on me about being a psychic. However, we all get together and go to dinner, and our commentary is pretty amazing. So we do hope to capture this on video for you guys sometime. Famous Jay is in the room too, so we won't disclose who he is. We'll just call him Famous Jay. So everybody say hi to him. Oh, you're welcome, hon. That's kind of what this is about, to answer any questions, see if I can help you out some. I know the struggle is real when it comes to this stuff. It can be overwhelming. Hi, Pam. And, just, let things go. Let things go. Don't question it. Don't overanalyze it. Get out of your own head. Trust your gut feeling. Roll with your instincts. It happens better. But I cannot stress enough. If you're not right spiritually, you're going to get nothing. Okay? That's what you're working with. Remember that. If you take anything away from this video, you are working with spirit. Therefore, be right spiritually. Okay? Meditation, relaxation, whatever it takes you to get into a relaxed point. And, when I say pray, think about what I'm saying there. Let them know that you're ready, you know? And I had my interview today. And Ace said, good for you, Bonnie. All right, spirit guides. You brought up a good point. Spirit guides. We all have them, okay? And I'm asked many times, how do I find my spirit guide? How do I find my spirit guide? Okay, your spirit guide has already found you. You just need to be open to that, okay? So, and my dad passed the spirit, and he comes to me only. Janice, that's huge that he comes to you only. Does he visit you in dreams? I'm sure he does. How to know if your gut or you're being crazy when you're in the middle of a situation, asking for a friend. We just talked about this. It is hard to determine your inner voice from what you want. And the more you work with the inner voice, the better off you'll get in just deciphering that. And you get closer to your spirit guide. And be open to it. If you want to get closer to your spirit guide, be open to it. Did you ask me if all spirits are good? No, they are not. Remember that. Um, it's hard to distinguish your inner voice from what you really want. And if you're working on your intuition, it's just going to take some time to know that and to put the wants in a box and put them on a shelf. And like I said, if we're talking about tarot cards, be careful there too, because you can influence this card. Same as a guardian angel, correct. Correct. Yes and no, Elizabeth. Yes, your guardian angels are there. Your spirit guides, yeah, pretty much deemed as a guardian angel. But then there are other spirits around you that cannot be of the white light. But I can tell you this, if you have spirits around you that are not of the white light, because I've seen this with those people, you have brought that in. You have done something to directly bring that into you. For help, for good or better, and love or light to help. Yes, that's a good way to approach it, Heather. It's been, okay, hold on. I wish these comments would really stay on screen because, like I said, they fade off and it just irritates me. I lose my train of thought. But yeah, always ask, to love and light, things like that. Um, Ouija boards. Just say no, people. Nothing good comes from them. It is direct divination. And if you think for one moment that you're going to connect with Uncle Bob on a Ouija board, you're not going to. Say no to him. What friend is with you, Miss Elizabeth? How do you get rid of a bad spirit? Honey, that's a loaded question right there. Well, it's been lovely sunny in London today. All right. Well, it just finished raining here, so it's funny. We actually had a gorgeous day, and we just had a nice thunderstorm. Here's a guy with one nose back. Take a deep breath and just sit quietly 5 minutes and think. It's because you should each answer works for me. Okay, Elizabeth Bonnie just gave some good advice there. Talking about that inner voice versus your wants. Just take a deep breath, give it some time, and that way you can kind of decipher um, what you're looking at there. And then why I asked a question. I'll get to that in a minute. Is all divination bad? Divination is never good. And I'll tell you why. You don't know who you're talking to when you're doing that. Watch YouTuber. Tarot. I figured her name. She saw it. Okay, I caught part of that. I didn't catch it all. Something about a parking space. Watch YouTuber. I forgot her name. She said try space like you want to make a parking space. It's pretty much what I'm telling you is that you need to be in a relaxed state of mind and that you need, somewhere consistent, and how do you picture that? I don't care if you picture yourself on a beach as long as you're in a relaxed state of mind. Waiting on comments. I don't think it's ever been this lagging before. And I have no way to make them come up. No one right now. See what they want. That's true. That's true. You people do get tunnel vision. They only see what they want. Your twin flame, Sasha. I'll get right back to that. Sasha, twin flames. I would like to choke the person that whoever come up with the words twin flame and soulmate. Seriously. Do I believe you have a twin flame? Possibly. Do I believe you have a soulmate? Possibly. It's all about connection, people. Your energy connecting with them. I do not believe that this is a soulmate or twin flame that you are destined to be with for the rest of your life. I don't believe in it. Names in the voice, spirit guide, dead people. I don't feel like a dead person. I feel it was more like an angel, sweet, relaxed, peaceful moon. That would be more of an angelic presence. If they have a name, and if you want to know the name, very simple, ask them. It's just hard to remember when you feel the presence to do so. Ask them their name. 9 times out of 10, they will tell you. And Janice, I know you keep telling me something about this truck, and I'm getting bits and pieces. Mine is George. Yeah, she sees a lot of George as well. Yeah, I'm not on board with this whole twin flame soul connection thing. I think there are deep-seated connections. Do not get me wrong. I had people in my past that I still feel connected to because it was an actual connection. Okay? I believe that fate, destiny, it's all going to bring you to who you're supposed to be with. But I don't believe in this whole twin thing. Yes, I do believe in fate. I do. And I do believe that things happen for a reason. And I believe that we go through a major amount of crap for a reason. Whether it was a learning lesson for us, and sometimes we may know why we went through that to get us through the other side. I mean, life hands is, this is life. It's the way we roll. It pop up on your mind. Generally, the name will actually come to you, or you will hear it in another voice as to how you will know the name. But yeah, and you'll see that in your YouTube readings. How many times do I get a thumbs down on a video because I pulled the tower? Okay, the tower is disruption, all hell breaking loose. You need to know it. It come up. Yes, I said it. Don't please everybody when I say it, but it is what it is. If you're going to have a rut in the week, I'm going to tell you, you've got a rut in the week. What are my plans this evening? When someone asks you a question about in your future, can you answer with the tarot cards? I can give you tips and tricks on how to read timelines on tarot cards that would be pretty close to accurate. And know my plans this evening? Outside, I hope my daughter bought dinner when she come home because I'm not cooking. Memorial Day weekend, pretty laid back. I've done some readings today. I'll probably do some readings this evening. Tomorrow, church, taking the afternoon off, maybe readings tomorrow night. Monday, Memorial Day, when y'all sitting around, hit me up. Nope, I'm working Monday. So, now back to comments. I was trying to talk to him about the daughter kept pulling my leg, was jumping on top of the bed, And Angel kept talking to me like nothing was happening outside. Duh. Y'all see how quick this, it literally flashes before I can read all of a comment. It's so frustrating to me. But I do love YouTube Live over the other ones that I've tried before. So if I don't even need to be. Okay. And then my dad comes in the truck to see me. Doesn't talk, just waiting for me. Okay. All right. Janice, on your dad, he will talk when you're ready to hear him talk. I've had my dad approach me in my dreams several times, and twice I've woke up mad because I told him to go away. Yes. The one person in life I like to talk to, and in my dreams I tell him to go away. So your dad will speak to you when he's ready to speak to you. He's kind of testing the waters with you right now. The other question I did not understand at all. At all. I have not a clue what you're asking me there. Okay, bye Bonnie. The rising has been strong and accurate lately. It all depends. It all depends. Like I said, there is no perfect week. There is no perfect answer. The purpose of a psychic reading is to know what's coming. And if you know what's coming and it's not what you want, you have a possibility of changing that course. And sometimes you don't. That's where your fate applies. If you've got something coming at you like a freight train, it might have to hit you like a freight train. It might be a life lesson that you have to go through. But the purpose is to know what is coming ahead. Grandpa, been gone for a long time. I never see them. I don't know why. Because there's no time on that side. I've had loved ones that have been gone for many years. To be honest with you, it took one as long as 17 years to appear in a dream. You know, it's just like I said, it's no time on that side. But you can let them know in your prayers. If you're talking to God or whatever, that you're ready to hear from them. You would like to hear from them. Oh, look, Roxy is back. What is the most common question I get asked? Number one topic on readings, love and relationships. Always has been. Um, it's funny. It doesn't matter if we're broke, can pay the bills, have a job, or anything else. As long as the love life is right, it's like the biggest part. But it's always been the number one would be love and relationships. Second category, I would have to say work, career, finances, going back to school, things like that. But yeah, always the number one is the love life. Come here, nobody wants to see your tail. Do you keep some answers? Do you keep some answers to a client? What do you mean by that? How do you know if you've met another psychic? Sometimes I just know. I can walk into a room and almost tell you who is psychic in that room. Pam, priorities. What can I say? Yeah. Your cat's there too? Yeah. Roxy, like I said, she's made a couple appearances in a couple of my videos that she'll jump up in my lap. Ooh, a tarot. But you can't read for yourself. Is what was. By the way, I'm just reading for family and friends. Why? The best place to start for your readings are for family and friends. It's how I started doing it. Hard for her or him to deal. I gotta read that again. Reading for yourself, it's difficult. It's very difficult. Every now and then I can influence my daughter to flip some cards for me. Yeah, you generally have to bribe her. That knowing it would be hard for her or him to deal. Let me tell you something. Not telling someone something bad is not the way to go. Okay? It's your approach. It's how to let them down gently. If this person really, really wants this guy and this is the one they want to be with and you don't see it, it's going to be in your approaches to how you handle that. Okay? Let them down easy. It's not this one, but let's look what's coming up. You're doing yourself an injustice if you see anything negative and don't tell your client. Jumping on top of me once don't matter. I can still hear the voice inside my right ear. You need to pay attention to that voice. How to change that and something else I didn't see. You could hear her purring on it. She's spoiled. Good and bad always. You have to be honest. How to change things. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you cannot change things. What's the best way to get your guidance? You will have to figure that out. For some people, it's in their dreams. For some people, it's the clairvoyance of seeing things. For some people, it's just the knowing and the intuition. You're going to have to dabble with all of that to figure out what works for you. And yes, I'm waiting on your comments. I know we've been on for an hour now, so I'm going to get ready to wrap up, guys, because I'm getting hungry too. And I think my daughter bought. Oh, look, Nikki, she bought me Wendy's. Imagine that. So, some other things I want to touch base on you with. So enjoy. I do have a Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook. Yeah, I've got a spoiled cat here. What can I say? She lets me live with her, so she thinks. So she thinks. Okay, well, guys, I think in the next chat, some other things that I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about these medium readings, what the other side's about, what to expect with working with the other side. And as always, y'all guys know I am a big advocate on psychic scams. And if you want some information on that, please visit my website. I'll put a link to it here below the video. But I've got a mouthful to say with that, and I will actually share with you some of my clients' experiences that are out of thousands of dollars. It's actually very disappointing. So, to all of you, thank you for joining me tonight and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And I will see you guys, probably around Tuesday of this week on your videos. So, see you soon, guys. Bye. And tell Famous J bye, too. Elizabeth, Nikki, I'll be in touch soon. Bye, guys.